Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Leonard, and it's less than a month away from the premiere of My Policeman, and I still haven't read that book. And so that's what we're going to do today. So this video is going to be obviously a reading vlog of My Policeman, and I've actually started this book I believe in like April, March, April I think, and I got to like page 30, something 30, 38, something like that, and then I DNF'd it for the moment because I was bored. But yeah, we're less than a month away, and so I have to read this book before the movie comes out, and I am really excited. So I'm not going to be starting the book from scratch because I don't want to, but from what I remember, this book is divided into 3 parts, I think. And the first part is in Marian's point of view. Let's just start with the assumptions part. So I think that Tom is bi and he likes Marian, but he also likes Patrick. But he eventually decides that he's going to marry Marian so that he can be accepted as a cop and into the society that they live in. And then he obviously already knows Patrick, I think, before he decides to marry Marian. And then he just tells Marian, like, look, I like you, I like Patrick, let's just have this sort of 3-way relationship, but you don't have to be with Patrick and Patrick doesn't have to be with you, but I want to be with both of you. Yeah, and then something happens to Patrick, obviously. I think he had like a stroke or he's dead or something like that. And so yeah, the first bit that I read, so the first 30 pages, was we were in Marian's point of view when she was younger, and she was just telling how she met Tom, basically. And they were like, I don't know, 14, 16, maybe even younger, I don't even know. And Tom was her best friend's brother, and she just started developing some feelings towards Tom. But yeah, and then they were in a like swimming pool party type of thing, but Marian doesn't know how to swim, and then Tom offers her this sort of class to teach her how to swim. But then he's going to, I don't know if it's the army or the police academy, I don't know which one comes first, but I think the army. And yeah, and then he goes to the army, he joins the army, and he doesn't teach Marian how to swim. And yeah, that's where I stopped. But yeah, I'm excited to start reading it, and it's a short book, and I think that the letters are kind of big, so I think I'm going to be able to get through this book in like 2 days, even in a day, but I have stuff to do. So in 2 to 3 days, I think I'll be able to get through this book, but we'll see. Oh, this is going to be obviously, a spoiler reading vlog. Let's go. Here's a little curiosity thing. I was looking in the cover, and this man right here, I don't know if it's focused or not, but this face right here, it scares me all the time. Whenever I pick this book up, looking at this man right here, it always scares me because his face is just weird. Like, it's just really scary. It looks, I mean, these other 2 people, they look like they're meant to be there, but his face, just, it doesn't look like it belongs here. It just looks photoshopped, and it's weird, and it's creepy, and yeah, that's it. Just a little curiosity thing that no one asks about, but I had to get out of my chest. And this book has those stickers that aren't really stickers, and yeah, it's just here, so soon to be a major film. Hi, so some time has passed, and I am now on page 87 of My Policeman, And a lot has happened, but at the same time, nothing has happened. So, Tom went to the army, he came back from the army, went to the police academy, and then Marion became a teacher. And one day, Tom went to see Marion, and then they just agreed to have that teaching lesson that he promised her all those years back. Like, not all those years, but yeah, you get the point. Um, and then they start having these classes every weekend, I think. And then one day he said that he wants her to meet a friend of his, and that friend is Patrick, and they start hanging every weekend, the three of them. But now Patrick has gone, I don't know where, and Tom and Marion are all by themselves, and it's weird because Marion thinks that she and Tom have this sort of relationship, but they have never kissed. And so, yeah, she talked about him to her parents, but they always thought that he was fake and that she was lying to them or imagining stuff. But then Tom went to have a little date, just him and Marion, and he went to her house, and her parents met him, and they were just in awe, oh my god, he's incredible, he's so super tall and super pretty, and he's a police officer and everything. And now they're going to Patrick's house because Tom has the keys, but Patrick isn't there, and so yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen. I think that he's going to propose. I don't really know because they haven't kissed, so it's weird for him to be proposing when nothing has happened, but in her head they have a relationship. Oh, and then Tom's sister got engaged because she pretended that she was pregnant so that she could get married, but then she told Marion the truth and told her that she was jealous of Marion because Marion could live by herself. But it's girl, you're only getting married because you wanted to, because you lied. You said that you were pregnant when you weren't pregnant. But yeah, I'm a bit confused. And the book, I feel like a lot has happened, but at the same time, nothing has happened. But yeah, I am 25% through, according to Goodreads. And yeah, we figured out that Patrick did have a stroke, and that she's writing these letters type of thing to Patrick, and she's the one that's taking care of Patrick. And Patrick can barely talk, and he has really low mobility. But he said Marion was saying that she and Tom are watching this show, and then he was able to say, "Where's Tom?" And then she just didn't answer him, just said, "Oh yeah, good for you, you're talking again, good, that's nice, you're getting better." And then he just kept asking, "Where's Tom? Where's Tom? Where's Tom? Where's Tom?" And Marion just ignored him. So I think maybe Tom died, or she was lying to Patrick to try and make him jealous. I don't know, I'm a bit confused. But yeah, Patrick did have a stroke. And yeah, and now they all live together, except I think Tom died. But yeah, that's it. And yeah, I don't really know how this is going to end. Sometimes I can predict, especially with romance books, you can predict how they're going to end. But with this book, I am really at loss. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I really don't know. Maybe people will find out that Tom is bi, and I mean, they will think that he's gay because in that time, so I think this book is in the 1960s, 1950s, something like that. The bi definition wasn't really a thing, and so people will think that he's homosexual, and so they will kill him or make him kill himself. This is my guess. But we'll see. You guys know that my guesses change all the time. But yeah, for now, the 25% mark, my guess is that Tom killed himself or died somewhere, somehow. So a couple of days have passed, and I haven't been reading a lot, but I have just finished part 1. And I mean, I was kind of right. So Tom sort of asked Marion to be his wife, but it doesn't make sense because they just kissed for like the first time. They just said, "Oh, I want you to be my wife." Like, chill. And also, he has his own set of keys for Patrick's house, which is like suspicious, you know. So yeah, I am literally about to start part 2 of My Policeman, which is on page 97. And this one, I believe, is in Patrick's point of view. But yeah, we'll see. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's all a bit weird, you know. I am more invested now in the story than I was on like the first 30 pages or so. I think that now it's starting to pick up slowly, but it's starting to pick up. Okay, just another thing that I've noticed. So, yeah, this part is in Patrick's point of view, and it says in the beginning of the second part, 29th September 1957, but in the beginning of the first part, so in Marianne's point of view, she's writing from Peach Haven, October 1999. So, Marianne's was like, I mean, we already knew this, but it was telling from present to past. And then I think that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. And now Patrick's is writing, I think, from like the present, but when he was younger. Um, and a lot of years have passed, but I can't really do math right now. But a little over 40 years has passed. And so we see, I mean, you kind of get the idea that the three of them, not got together, but once they got together, not together in a romantic way, but I mean, you know, once that trio was created, they all stayed together. At least that's the idea that I'm getting so far. I'm going to continue reading now. I have just witnessed how Patrick and Tom met. And I don't know what I was expecting. I thought that maybe they had met at the museum, but actually they met because Patrick was on a little walk and he saw a woman having an accident on a bike, and so he went to help her, and then he went to get the police, and the policeman that was closer to him was Tom. Yeah, and that's how they met, but I don't know how their relationship is going to evolve, obviously, and yeah, I am now on page 102, so I haven't read a lot. Okay, so it's much later now, and I don't know if you can hear, but it's raining a lot, and I've just finished studying, and so it's the perfect time for me to pick up My Policeman again. So I read the first chapter of part 2, and then I went to study and do other things, and I actually found out that My Policeman has 5 parts and not 3 parts like I was saying. And it's 3 in Marianne's point of view and 2 in Patrick's. And Marianne is from 1999 explaining the past, and Patrick is in the past, so in 1957, I think. And so in the first chapter that I just read, Patrick is explaining how he met Tom and how their friendship began. But the funny thing is that Patrick immediately starts calling Tom, like in his head, by My Policeman, and it's like, you have just met, he's not yours, anything. But yeah, and he just got completely like head over heels over Tom, and they only spoke about like 3 sentences, and that's it. But yeah, now they just did this sort of agreement where Patrick is going to, I think, paint Tom to be in an art exhibition. I'm going to continue reading now, and I am on page 107, and hopefully I'll be able to reach page 160, 150 before I go to bed. But yeah, let's go.
another day in my life.
I just got that Patrick's chapters are kind of like diary entries, and so they are much smaller chapters than Marian's chapters were. Um, but yeah, in this chapter, it was like 3 pages long, and he just called Tom by My Policeman like 8 times. 8 times in 3 pages. Like, come on, that's a lot. Hi guys. So, I don't remember the last time I updated you guys on my reading of My Policeman, but I have finished the second part, so Patrick's part, and I mean, for the most part, nothing really major happened. So he was just fighting over Tom, which I didn't get why, because they literally just met and he was already calling him my policeman. And then he was just pining over him, and they were agreeing to meet at Thursday so that Patrick could paint a portrait of Tom. But then nothing really important happened until literally the last chapter of Patrick's part, I think, where everything just happened. So you get during this Patrick part mentioned a guy, so you hear Patrick talk a lot about Michael, or mention Michael, but we don't really know who Michael is. And then in this last chapter, him and Tom, I don't think it's the last chapter, whatever, in one of these chapters, but towards the end of that part, Tom and Michael sleep together, but then Tom disappears. Not disappears, but he doesn't show up anymore. And then you see that Michael killed himself. Michael was Patrick's old lover, and he had, I think, a wife. I don't really know. I'm not really sure. But then someone noticed that him and Patrick had a relationship, and they started blackmailing Michael, and then Michael committed suicide. But I wanted to tell you that yesterday I went to the movies with my friend, and we saw Don't Worry Darling, and I mean, I kind of liked the movie. I didn't really have any expectations of what the movie was going to be, but I had seen a lot of people say that they didn't really like the movie and it was weird and boring, and I don't know, so I didn't really have any expectations, but I really liked it, and I am really curious. I want to dig deeper, and because some parts didn't really make sense to me, but yeah, I think I'm going to rewatch that movie on your website somewhere, so that I can pay closer attention to some details that I've maybe missed, because it was my first time seeing the movie. I didn't really know what was coming and what was going to happen. Okay, so it's been an hour, and I thought, since I last updated you guys, and I thought, yeah, I'm just going to read a bit before bed, before I get sleepy, and like, I'm dying, I just want to sleep, but I've been reading for the past hour, and I'm almost done with the book. Like, I've read part 3 almost completely. I have like 10 pages left of part 3, and then it's part 4, which is super short, and then part 5. Back on, Okay, so we're back on Marian's point of view, on our perspective, whatever. And so she and Tom got married, and Patrick was the best man. And then they went on a little honeymoon to. I mean, I didn't really get if the hotel was the honeymoon or if they had two honeymoons. I'm a bit confused, but I mean, my brain is mush. But yeah, either way, they went on a little honeymoon to Patrick's house, like a little cottage that he has. But he went there with them, so they stayed there alone 4 days, and then Patrick went there 3 days, and it's like, come on now. And Marion started realizing what that maybe there's something going on between Patrick and Tom, and present Tom, so 60 something year old Tom. I hate him. Like, please, he's just, oh, I didn't want you to bring Patrick here. You brought him because you wanted to. If you want to play nurse, go ahead, but don't ask me to participate in this. Like, you're the one who has a relationship with him, not Marion. And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to have sex with other people. Like, excuse me? I hate him, and that makes me scared to watch the movie because Harry's going to play Tom, and I hate Tom, and I love Harry. So yeah, I'm a bit apprehensive. But yeah, and what happened more? And I think it's Julia, her name, told Marion that, oh, maybe Patrick's gay, and Marion was like, what? She just completely freaked out. Like, girl, come on now. But yeah, so I'm intrigued to know what happened, like, between when they were younger. So when Marion found out that Patrick was gay, and that she and no, and then Tom had a little affair with him. Between the present time, where Tom doesn't really care, he's an asshole, and Marion is the one that has to take care of Patrick because Patrick had 2 strokes and will maybe have a third one. I don't know. And I also have another theory that Julie or Julia, I don't know, Marion's teacher friend is lesbian, and then that she will try to make a move on Marion, possibly, maybe. I don't know. But she gives me those vibes. I don't know why. Hi, so I literally just got back from school, and I have 10 pages left of My Policeman, and I don't know how, but I managed to have a little self-control, and I thought, no, I'm going to wait to read these 10 pages so that I can finish my reading vlog. And I mean, a lot has happened, but I just have to finish this book, and then I'll tell you guys what happened. But yeah, let's just go. Okay, so I just finished My Policeman, and God, I don't even know. I just need a minute. Tom and Patrick went on a little trip to Venice, and Marion was already suspecting that they had a little relationship going on. And so while Tom was away, she talked, while she was kind of drunk, she talked to Julia, and she told her that she thought that Tom was gay and that he had a relationship with Patrick, and she didn't know what to do, but that she could cure him. And then Julia just got a little upset and told her, no, like, there's no cure. It's not your fault, but there's no cure. You can't do anything about that. And then pretty much, yeah, she just sort of told, it was implied that she was lesbian in her conversation with Marion, and then they just stopped being friends, sort of. And Marion was really upset, and so she just wrote a letter telling the chief of the museum, or the director of the museum, that Patrick was gay. And then Patrick got arrested. I did not see that coming. But yeah, Patrick got arrested, and Marion went to, I don't know how to say this, but she went to court to defend Patrick because she didn't want anyone to know that she was the one that got Patrick arrested. Yeah, and then Tom tells her that he was at Patrick's house when he was arrested, because he doesn't show up one day, and she immediately knows that he's in Patrick's house, and so she goes there in the morning. But then Patrick's neighbors tell her that, oh yeah, he got arrested during the night, so he isn't home. And when she gets home, Tommy's there, and they have a little conversation where she kind of implies that she knows that him and Patrick had a relationship. And then Tom tells her that he was at Patrick's house when he was arrested, and he had to run away from there before the other policemen saw him. Yeah, and then just Tom quits. Julia leaves the school where Marion works and goes to another school. And yeah, pretty much that's what happens. And then you see how Patrick is doing in jail, but nothing really major happened there. Just him and Tom stop talking because Tom is, I don't know, scared, hurt, I don't know. And then from what I got, Marion went to search for Patrick all those years later, once she knew that he was sick, I think, or had a stroke or two. Yeah, and then we go back in the present, and then she convinces Tom. She tells Tom that, oh, Patrick is dying. He is, but he isn't. So yeah, the doctor told her that he maybe had a third stroke, and that he needed to go to a nursing home, but she just lied and told Tom that, oh, he has less than a week to live, and I want you to go and talk to him. I want you to read this to him. And so she hands Tom the diary that she has been working on. So Marion's parts in this book, that's what she gives to Tom, and Tom reads that to Patrick, and then she just packs her bags and leaves before Tom finishes telling the story to Patrick. And that's it. And I don't know what I think. I mean, the first 30 pages or 40 pages I was bored. But then you just start getting invested and curious to see what happened. I liked it a lot, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But I really like this book. I think I'm going to give it a 4 stars. 4.5. I don't really know. But I think that this is a book that is difficult to get into. But once you get into it's, you just get stuck in this world, and you just have to finish this book. It's beautifully sad, if that makes sense. But yeah, I still don't like Tom's character. But yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you guys like this video. If you don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, I guess.